What up, y'all? How is everybody? It is totally Tuesday, our manifestation oracle reading, and it's after midnight, so you're probably seeing this on totally Wednesday. But it's just as good. I just came in from partying. I'm a little tipsy. I've been at my nephew's surprise birthday party. And so we were supposed to meet at 6 at him and his wife's house, and she had arranged it so that his friend had taken him out for a little while, and she would have time to like run around and grab like food and ice cream cake and all the things. And then all the guests were supposed to get there at 6:30, and we were gonna like jump out and surprise him. But we got there at 6:30 and everybody was running late. So everybody's like running in there like, did I ruin the surprise? And everybody's like, no, everyone's late. And so we're like rushing to like get everything set up, and like balloons blown and everything. And it's around the time that we think that his friend is going to bring him back to the house. And so we decide that it's a good idea to like turn the lights off and get in the kitchen and hold the ice cream cake and like the candles and get it lit, and like my nephew's wife is trying to like text the dude that he's with, and we're just like standing by the ice cream cake is like it's not being frozen, it's thawing, and we're waiting and like no one's answering, and then we wait for like probably 10 minutes, and then finally like we put the ice cream cake back in the fridge, and we're still standing like all just like crowded into the kitchen with the lights off. And eventually the guy that is like distracting my nephew like answers us back, and he's like, sorry, we just ordered food. so we're like, we think he's gonna show up any minute, but like we're standing with an ice cream cake waiting to jump out and say surprise, but they have now ordered food. Okay, so they've ordered food, and so we had to like just like stand, and we're like, okay, maybe we should just sit down. So we took a seat at the table, and we like lit some candles, and we didn't even turn the lights off. We just had like a nice like Shabbat. Like we all had a nice like deep conversation about how religion and the hermeneutic lens in which we were raised with the exposure of religion had affected us. Very intelligent, sensitive conversation. And then it was like, oh, they're on the way. So then we like all like got back in the kitchen again and hid, and we lit the cake this time. We lit the candles. This is an ice cream cake, and we still overshot it. So we stood in the kitchen waiting with the melting ice cream cake that was essentially ablaze, because it was like those two really big like 3-0 like the big digit candles. So the ice cream cake is melting. And we're waiting for them to like drive from the bar to the house. When they finally come in, we'd already started talking about something else, so we were kind of distracted. So we were delayed in our surprise. And then it wasn't like we could jump up and say surprise, and we were like right in front of the door. We had to like run out from around the corner from the kitchen, so there was some bottleneck traffic. So it was just like a gradual, like people running out into like a dark room, like being like surprise, but like not in synchronicity. And my nephew, it was the most shit surprise, like, organization, choreography, execution ever. And my nephew was still like, oh, I'm so surprised. I never saw this coming. I think he almost cried. It was so funny. So we had a good night. I'm insane. I'm drunk. We're here for our manifestation reading to see what we should be aware of for the week ahead. If we want to manifest our dreams, if that's something that we're interested in, let's see what we need to know about for our highest good. Positive energy! Keep it up, people. Surround yourself with positive people and situations and avoid negativity. I love this. I was just around positive people tonight. It was a really fun time. Still laughing. Yes, they say that you become a representation of the 5 people that you hang out with most. So think about that when you think about who you're surrounding yourself with most of the time. Are you surrounding yourself with people who stretch you to be a better person? I was about to say version of yourselves. No, tipsy. This is hysterical. A better version of yourself. But yeah, you don't want to be surrounded by Debbie Downers. That's just going to bring your vibe down, and it's going to bring your expectations down, and it's going to lower your bar. So surround yourself with positive people. Contemplation time. Spend time alone meditating upon what you truly desire. That is really in alignment with our other messages recently for the past few weeks. We've been really encouraged to spend time reflecting on what we really desire and what we really want. And that makes sense because this is the end of the year. It's that time where, you take stock and you reflect and you celebrate all the things that you've accomplished this year. I still need to take time to do this myself. And then you kind of prepare your mind for the year to come and you call in all those dreams that you have for yourself, the ones that you're expanding on, that you've been working on this current year, the new things that you want to call in. So this is a great time to spend December, getting your mind wrapped around that, in Sagittarius time, because this is the time where we expand our ideas, our philosophies, our hopes, our dreams, our aspirations, so that during Capricorn season, we can put foot to ground and take steps to actually actualize things, right? So now we're getting our strategy and our ideas and our inspiration all pumped and fueled. It was a jumpsuit kind of night. We have a little warm front. I really, really, really need to wash my car, but I really, really, really just don't want to prioritize that. Self-employment. You're a born entrepreneur and your business is surrounded by magical opportunities. Now, you guys, if you're out there and you have something that you are growing or you are building or expanding, maybe you've recently had some advice or some ideas about how you can grow or build upon what you have or expand that. And now is a good time to start getting your ducks in a row to get that set up to launch for the new year, right? If you already have things set up, you might have a sudden surge, at the end of the year during holiday season that you can take advantage of now, and certainly do jump on that. But right now, if it's something that you haven't actually quite launched yet, I would say start doing the research and give yourself time to do that. Don't rush through it, because I know that I've personally been researching some practical things recently to do with tech and platforms and stuff like that. And I thought that I'd found the perfect solution. And then something else came out that I wasn't aware of, and I was like, oh, maybe this other alternative option is actually the better solution, and it does require a little bit more research. So don't rush yourself right now. Just know that the research that you're doing, the things that you're doing right now are productive, especially if it has to do with research and development and planning for what you're going to execute come January. All right. What's up? How you doing? All right, and our final card for the week. That's too many. Let's just do one. Just get one clear card. Ooh, father healing. Ooh, let yourself receive. Ooh, my goodness. Okay. So your personal power increases as you give any father-related issues to heaven. Have you guys been dealing with any father healing issues this year? They may be circling back around to finalize and finish off. If you have had an issue that has been eluding you, that you're like, oh man, I wish I just knew what needed to be done. I feel like there's like some kind of karmic lesson that I need to like get, that's like, because I'm still circling around this pattern and I don't understand what it is. What is holding me back in this situation? It's something to do with the father. It's something to do with the father wound. Father healing is what you need to focus on right now. And you're not alone. I'm there with you. I have father healing stuff that keeps affecting me. Even though I have tried to like release my father of the debt of being my father, even though I've tried to not have any expectations over him, it's like, I know how hard it is, and you just want to beat your head up against a wall because you're like, I don't know what else to do to heal my father issues, to like get out of the pattern that I'm trapped in, like circling round and round again. I'm with you. It is very hard. So I would say lately I've leaned on a practice of daily prayer out loud. And any issue that I've had, I've just been giving it over in prayer and speaking it out loud and unburdening it in a physical, vocal way. And you know what? Now I'm going to incorporate the father healing. I'm going to ask for direction and guidance to resolve this situation and heal the wound that I have born from my father that is keeping me in a perpetual pattern that I just don't deserve to be in, and I'm willing to get out of. I'm just asking for the clarity. And I'm talking this through out loud because I think that it's helpful for you guys too, because I'm sure I'm not alone in this. Like, if anybody else is like mastered the father healing, let us all know in the comments. Give us the story. Spill the tea. Let us know how you did it. But yeah, I mean, I think it starts by accepting the fact that your father is just a man who has his own issues and insecurities and fears and problems and things to overcome in this life. His own distractions, his own baggage. If you start to just see your father as just like this man that, you have more compassion and understanding. I think it helps to just give up expecting that your father will be any different than he was. That helps. It doesn't help change who your father was, but it helps alleviate the suffering that you have. It maybe doesn't take away from the pain of wishing that your father would have been different, or wishing that you would have had a more hallmark experience with your father. But it changes the expectation that you have. You just kind of give someone acceptance for who they were. The pain of regretting that they weren't who you wanted them to be is inevitable, and you can just acknowledge that and accept that. And, it's not anything, like, you're justified in feeling that. But accepting that it wasn't the way that you wished it could have been, and it never will be, and just letting it go, it alleviates suffering. There's a difference between pain and suffering. Pain is unavoidable, but suffering is a choice. Suffering is when you cling on and you keep, like, the pain keeps growing and it keeps building and it keeps sustaining over time. And it happens when you won't accept the reality of the situation. You're fighting against it, and you won't just move forward in the process of grief and letting go. It's like you just want to stay stuck, and you want to keep fighting against it, and you want to keep changing what's already done, what's already been set in stone. And you can't. You just have to let it go. Let bygones be bygones. The spilled milk has been spilled, and it's washed down the river. It's too late. So just accept our fathers for who they are. It doesn't mean that you have to condone who they are. It doesn't mean that you have to spend time with them, allowing them to be shitty if that's what they're like. You can set boundaries. You can honor your parents and set boundaries. You can gauge, how close you are. It's very difficult because we have to honor our parents, you know, when they get to a certain age. You don't want to leave them defenseless, because you don't want to be left defenseless when you're there either. And you have compassion for your parents. You love them. And that's why you just have to like let go of like who they've been, because now it's too late. You know, they've done what they were gonna do. They've been who they're gonna be, and it's like, even I've had loved ones on their deathbeds that nothing ever changed, even in the end. Like the fantasy of hoping that it will, that there's going to be some magic moment where someone is like, oh, I should have been this way and I've changed and blah, blah, blah. Like maybe that happens sometimes, but I think we just have to quit waiting for that moment and just accept it the way it is, the way we don't have to like it, we don't have to approve of it. But if we stop fighting against it, we can move on, you know. And if you don't have a father and your actual dad, maybe you meet someone at some point who is a good mentor. I don't know. I never did. I think that the best thing to do is to learn to self-soothe and to lean on your source, your higher power, and lean on all the relationships around you and your network and your community and your village. But to like put somebody up on a pedestal in like this archetypal role that like there's some magical Santa Claus man who's going to be the perfect dad for you and give you all the answers and like, you know, pat on the back and like give you the approval and the validation you deserve. That's just a codependent fantasy anyway. So just live your life without it. Just move on. It's not that validating. In fact, I've had the father problems, and one time my dad did break down the barriers, and he did give me that speech where he told you all the validating things. You know, the things that you think you want to hear. And at that point, I was like, it's too little, too late. It doesn't matter anyway. I've never really been the person that cares about what people think or like needing the person to validate me anyway. So it was just like, well, you know, we've been talking recently about like getting the manifestation, but not having the fulfillment of the manifestation. It was like that. It was like in that moment, it was like, here's the fulfillment of this manifestation, but there's no fulfillment in the manifestation. It's just like, eh. So yeah. Stop waiting on that to be the answer to your problems, because it won't be. You are the answer to your problems. Let yourself receive. Allow others to give you loving care and receive without guilt or apologies. So yeah, allow the people around you to be sweet, to be nurturing. Allow yourself to let your guard down, to let that fill you up with some warmth in your heart. You know, I know that sometimes we can be guarded, and you know, we get so caught up in learning how to self-soothe and learning how to be independent and interdependent that we can actually put up walls around ourselves because we think it's not safe to let our guard down and like receive any kind of like support or nurturing or encouragement from others. And that's too extreme too. We're not weak or like codependent for being nurtured by other people's encouragement, right? That's positive. Like when healthy relationships are healthy and people encourage each other and they're there to support one another and their stability, that's great. You know, it's positive, it's supportive. And when it's not there, it's very draining. And then when there's no one there and you're alone, that's when you learn to self-soothe and have that security and that stability where you're not looking outside of yourself. You don't need to grab that from other people around you. You can do it by yourself, but my God, it's so nice when there's other people around you that can give you an encouraging word or listen to you or show interest or curiosity, you know, about your life. It is very, very helpful. And that's why when you get those soulmate relationships that are super healthy and the people have full cups and they come together and their cup runneth over, and like those friendships, those romantic relationships, those familiar relationships, whatever they are, they're so full that they spill over in a way that it actually puts more goodness out into the world. So it's good to receive. You don't have to feel guilty about it. You don't have to resist it. When you receive, you're actually giving to another person, because when we share, we're transmuting our own negativity. And by having a happy receiving vessel, we have an opportunity to transmute our negativity. So by receiving, you don't have to feel guilty in that. You're actually giving in the receiving. Right. And one more card. I actually wanted to pull a card to finish this off out of the Angel Dreams deck, which is all random symbols that you might see in your dreams. So what is one Angel Dreams symbol that will finish this off for our weekly reading about what we need to know for our manifestations? Ooh, dandelion, vitality, empowerment, and perseverance. This theme has been coming up because we've had messages regarding us being in phase 3 of creation phases. And we're talking about phase 3 of 4. And in phase 3, we're feeling the lack. We're feeling the absence of the light. We're feeling like even though we did everything it takes, like we were willing to do whatever it takes to get the job done and like to make it happen and all this stuff. And we put ourselves out there and we took the big risk, and like still like our efforts just sort of blew up in our face and they didn't really amount to anything. And we thought it was all going to come through. And we thought we were going to get the big, grand, we thought we were going to get the guy. We thought we were going to get the girl. We thought we were going to get the job, all that stuff. And it really looked like it was going to happen. And then it didn't. That's phase 3. The didn't happen is an illusion. And even if this particular specific opportunity doesn't happen yet, or it doesn't happen at all, something is around the corner. But this is a test to make sure that we're not going to settle for less, or that we're not going to short circuit, or we're not going to lose all the faith and the trust that we've built so far. But what we're going to do is we're going to continue to stay diligent and focused and committed and devoted to whatever it is, our personal transformation, our goals, the things that we've been trying to make happen. We're going to persevere instead of saying like, oh, it's a bad omen, maybe I should quit, maybe I should give up, oh, it's all too hard, it was more than I ever expected it to be. No, when it's the darkest, that's when you push through. That's when you say, no, this is a test to see if I'm going to give up on myself, give up on my hopes, give up on my dreams, and I'm not going to. I'm going to persevere. So persevere no matter what. I'm going to read this card. Let's see what it says. Vitality, empowerment, and perseverance. Dandelion is here to empower you with vitality. Your wishes and prayers have been heard. You will persevere. This powerful herb is helping you to work through the layers of this situation by bestowing on you the qualities of strength, determination, and adaptability. This card is encouraging you to be strong and flexible. The dandelion grows with fierce determination. Although people mow it down, it finds a new way to survive. Sometimes by growing through a crack in the sidewalk. Adjust what you can so you may continue to grow and reach for the light. Archangels Sandalphon and Ariel are associated with this symbol. The goddess Brigitte is also associated with this symbol. Keep a balance of humility and confidence. It is time to acknowledge and release your deep-seated negative emotions. Get some body work, such as a massage, to loosen the muscles in your back, neck, and shoulders. Ooh, I've had like rib stuff recently. Your project or goal requires patience. Keep going. Patience has been a big theme recently. It's been like know that this is a slow build and the anticipation is certainly growing, but just try to deal with it. All right. It feels ominous, but it's the anxiety of expansion that we're feeling. So don't worry too much. And you can actually buy dandelion tea, and I highly recommend it. It tastes nice and bold and rich and bitter and smooth also. All right, you guys. Good luck. We've had, let's see, what did we get? We have positive energy. Surround yourself with positive people. Spend time in contemplation, celebrating how far you've come this year and planning on what you're calling in and what you're building upon for the year to come, which is just around the corner. Self-employment, this is a good time to focus on growing your dreams and your side hustles, and Jupiter is expanding anything we give it right now to expand. So put some focus in your personal passion project. Father healing will be the metaphysical solution for the day to sort of get things moving and get the ball rolling. That like hidden little obstacle underneath the surface has to do with father healing. So work on that, focus on that right now, and allow yourself to receive. Allow yourself to receive joy, allow yourself to receive encouragement from your friends. Allow yourself to receive in every way and just enjoy the people around you and enjoy the love that they're trying to offer you. All right, you guys, and then don't give up. Support your vitality. Get enough rest, get enough exercise, get enough good food and water, and feel empowered, and no matter what, persevere. Don't give up, keep going. Be determined and steadfast like a dandelion, indestructible. Right? All right, y'all. I am going to bed. I'm tired. I hope you have a good night and a good day ahead of you whenever you're watching this. It doesn't really matter. It applies anytime. Ooh, like this video, subscribe to my channel. Help me get it monetized. I need 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours to officially get it monetized. I'm about 20% there, but a lot of growth can happen really fast. I've had surges that have been very exponential, so I can get another one at any time. Just give me a bunch of likes, a bunch of comments, a bunch of subscribes, set your notifications on, save this video in a playlist, do all the things, share it while you can. It makes a difference. Thanks. Ciao.